way in which you figure out what a person's true diversity is has everything to do with your ability to actually have a relationship and a deep conversation with the person.
Corporate social responsibility teams must play a leading role, collaborating with DEI and HR to transform statements of support and allyship into actions and behaviors that tell the right story of who and what American corporations want to be.
In the past, when people talked about sexual orientation, it traditionally meant a person was straight or gay. That's binary thinking. That something is either one thing or it's another thing. Today, we know that people's sexual orientation is better illustrated by a spectrum.
So here's the first thing that I learned. 1, race isn't real. I'll say that again. Race isn't real. Race is a socially constructed system of categorizing humans largely based on observable physical features, such as skin color and ancestry.
In the past, organizations' focal point of employee well-being has been mostly focused from the neck down, or the physical well-being of our employees. What about the wellness above the neck, our mental wellness?
One of the things that we don't pay attention to often is that companies have a commitment and have always had a commitment, but even more so now around gender diversity. And so McKinsey & Company had a study where they were able to show between 2015 and 2019 how companies have really increased their commitment to gender diversity. But then, even with that commitment, there's still challenges that women face, particularly women of color in the workplace.
When we take a moment to think about diversity in our shared spaces, work, education, community organizations, we have to include discussion about what is consistently measured as the largest minority group in the world: people with disabilities.
Most millennials and Gen Zers do not want to be defined as gender binary, as male or female. A recent survey of 1,000 millennials found that over half of them think gender is on a spectrum.
So what is the science behind mind and brain health? Historically, we believed that the brain stopped developing in adulthood. We now know that the brain is malleable, also referred to as neuroplasticity, and has the ability to form, strengthen, and reorganize synaptic connections that gives us the capacity to leverage, transform, and essentially reorganize or rewire our brains through neural pathways.
We don't just park parts of ourselves at the door to the office when we come in. We bring our whole selves, and the religions of the world, the great world religions, they're cultural products that create people's worldviews, how they see the world, how they think about their life, how they make decisions for their lives, and how we understand reality. And so there's no possible way to check that at the door of the office when we come to work. So we bring our whole selves to work, including our faith, or if we don't have a faith, our lack of it.
The 6 behaviors of inclusive leader is really a context for you to understand that leadership is not just about what you know, it's about what you do. The best leaders are the ones who operationalize those behaviors that get the most out of the team to help them to be successful and to be more effective.